Hi guys, it's Jen from Scoffed Cooking School here with a tips and tricks to help you in your kitchen. We're going to be making flatbread today. It's a really versatile recipe, so easy and great for lunches, as a side. You may use it as a wrap. You can use it for basically almost anything. And there's really little ingredients to it. We've got self-raising flour, some yogurt, salt and baking powder, and that is it. Equal amounts of baking powder and yogurt. So what I've got here is just a large bowl, mixing bowl, sieve, and you'll need a wooden spoon. So we're just going to sieve through our self-raising flour. You do need to do this for any flours or powdered ingredients, just to make sure you don't get any lumps. We're going to do that with our baking powder as well. All right, and if there are any lumps, just push that through with your fingers, and we're going to pop that salt in. So even though it is dry, you do want to give this a gentle mix with your wooden spoon, just so you disperse that baking powder really easily and you don't get a mouthful of salt or anything like that. So once that's in, it's just a matter of putting our yogurt in, and you don't want to over mix it. You don't want our dough to be tight, you want it to be light and fluffy. So nice gentle hand motions. Alright, so using that nice and gentle, and you're just incorporating the flour. There's not too much needing to be done or anything like that, quite simple. Alright, so mixing that through, and you'll end up with a rough dough, like such. And all you want to do now is get your hands in there and bring the dough together. Alright, it will be a little bit sticky, but it shouldn't stick too much to your hands. So taking your hands, nice clean hands, you're just bringing that dough together, squishing it through, and it should come together quite easily. Leave it in the bowl, do not take it out onto the bench until you're ready to roll it later on. All you're doing is bringing the dough together. Don't knead it or anything like that. And you want all that dry flour to come together. You should have a nice clean bowl at the end of it. Just bring all that dry flour in together, and that is working its way through. I'm really just squashing that together. Alright, so that's pretty much almost there. So like I said, it's a little bit sticky, but it shouldn't stick too much to your hands, and a nice clean bowl at the end and relatively clean hands. Well, relatively. All right, so we're going to leave this to rest, wrap it up in cling wrap, and you want to leave this for about 30 minutes or more. You want the dough to relax so that you're able to roll it out. So I'll see you in about 30 minutes and we'll leave this to rest. So what we want to do is cut this into 4 equal portions. I'm going to go ahead and cut this into half and into half again, and then I'm going to cut this into half again, so about 4 rough equal portions. I'm going to set them off to the side, a little bit more flour so it doesn't stick to the bench, and we're going to roll out this piece. So make sure it's nicely floured on the bottom and just flatten it out with your hands. Make sure the top is nicely floured as well. You don't want that to stick to your rolling pin. So we're going to grab our rolling pin, and what you want to do is start from the middle, you roll all the way up and down. If you see that it's starting to stick, coat it with more flour, okay? I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Start from the middle, up and all the way down. Again, if it's sticking, just that little bit more flour. All right, and you want to roll it out to about 5 millimeters thick. It doesn't have to be an exact round, it can be quite rough. It does puff up a little bit when you go to cook it. So this is what I'm after, a rough shape, about 5 millimeters thick. All right, so I'm going to keep rolling the rest of them and we'll go to fry them off. All right, so we've rolled our doughs out. We're going to move on to pan frying them. We need to turn our fry pan onto a medium heat, medium to high. You don't want it to cook too fast. We want a lovely golden brown color on it. So I'm going to turn that up. Okay. So some olive oil, vegetable oil, or canola is fine as well. You want to make sure your pan is nice and warm. So put your hand over it, give it a wave just to make sure that it is nice and cozy. All right, couple of 2 tablespoons or a couple of squirts of olive oil. Swirl that through. You will need a pair of tongs just to help you flip it over later. And you should hear a sizzle when you put your dough into the pan. All right, so our pan is hot enough. I'm gonna take a piece and you should hear a sizzle when you pop it down nice and gently. And you'll be able to see the bubbles on the side come through. Now, when you see the top start to come through with larger bubbles, it means it's time to flip it. You can also check it from time to time. Lift it up and have a look if it's golden brown. Don't flip it over if it's not, otherwise it'll still be uncooked and a little bit doughy. So we're gonna wait for that to turn a nice golden brown and then we'll flip it over. All right, so as you can see, our bubbles are coming up nicely, so it's time to flip it. Beautiful, so we've got that nice golden brown color. Try not to squish it down too much. You can flatten it slightly, but you wanna keep that fluffiness. All right, and the underside just has to be toasted to a nice golden brown color as well. And then I'm gonna pop it onto our cooling racks. Okay, so I'm gonna take that off. You can see it's nice golden brown color. I'm gonna flip that off and onto our cooling rack. Alright guys, I hope you had fun making flatbread from scratch with me. It's a super simple recipe that you make up anytime. If you had fun and you want to do more recipes with us, come and see me at Scoff Cooking School, and then I'll see you next time.